You know, I may have been a bit hasty in my review of the DeepMind 12. I may have been a little bit dismissive, because I've spent the last week going through these effects, and they're just way better than I thought they were. So since I didn't really cover them in any depth before, I'm going to go through my top 5 favorite effects, at the current moment at least. That's right, we're going back to this well, this DeepMind 12. We're gonna squeeze every drop out of this sweet baby. You're gonna make me YouTube rich. Yes, you are. And that's the best kind of rich. Lazy rich. You just shut your mouth and do everything I say, or I'm gonna sell you on reverb. I love you. The first effect I want to show you is just the chorus. I just think it's a good sounding chorus. The patch itself is pretty meat and potatoes. There's a little bit of attack on the filter, just to give it some zazz. There's a little bit of zazz there, tiny bit of reverb there, a room reverb, and also, just for the fun of it, I routed the speed to LFO2. Just for a little bit of zazz. Next, I want to show you the Deep Verb. It's kind of the go-to reverb. It's pretty versatile. I mean, you can see there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 different settings. They all sound pretty good in their own ways, but I'm going with the lo-fi. It kind of sounds like an old digital rack reverb or something from the 80s. Like one of those cheap old 16-bit art units or something. So here's what's going on with the settings. You can see there's a lot going on with the mod matrix. I won't explain it, but it's there if you're curious. So in addition to the reverb, I've got a tiny bit of delay here going into a reverb, and then 2 choruses after the reverb. Chorus number 1 is just the standard chorus, and then I've got also the dimensional chorus running on all 4 modes at once. Give me all the chorus. All the chorus. And this is what it sounds like. But I'm going to be doing a chord arpeggio with this. Here's the reverb in isolation. So full credit goes to Jacob Domine or Domine. I'm not sure how to say his last name. Full credit goes to him for this patch. He basically figured out a way to do additive synthesis with this, and it's kind of genius. There's no oscillators involved. It's all just the filter, and it's kind of just stacking harmonics on top of each other to make it sound like an electric organ. And that's pretty convincing to me. That sounds pretty dead on. The only trouble with these types of patches is the further you spread out, the kind of worse they sound, the more out of tune they get. So it's really a one-hand organ. The Leslie speaker is doing quite a bit of the heavy lifting to make it convincing though. And I've just got that on full blast. It's going through the rack amp. The dual pitch is in there just to add a little bit of like odd harmonics. You can't turn it up too much or it just sounds awful. And then a nice plate reverb at the end. And this is how it sounds. And then I've got the mod wheel set to the speed of the Leslie here. So you can just kind of adjust that right here. I'll bet you didn't know this has a bit crusher. It does have a bit crusher, you silly. It was hiding in the Decimator Delay. If you just turn the time up to like 1 millisecond and turn the feedback all the way down, you've got yourself a bit crusher. I'm actually using the downsample feature. Downsampling and bit crusher get conflated, and I understand, I get it. I've got this routed to my mod wheel, so I can mess with that in real time. Also, I've got a little bit of multiband distortion going on here. And then yet more chorus. Both of them. Again. And that's all I gotta say about that. The last thing I want to show you is the mood filter, which is, it's supposed to be modeling a classic Moog style filter. As far as I can tell, it does a pretty good job. It sounds pretty good. But what's really cool about it is it has its own set of LFOs independent of these LFOs. And its own speed control, depth, you know. It has its own built-in envelope and attack and release and stuff. But you can also mod it to any envelope, but you've got your spare mod envelope if you don't want to assign it to the VCF. So you could have 3 filters all doing all sorts of things. It has low pass, high pass, band pass, a notch. It's really quite powerful. It sounds pretty good, and I'll show you it with a little more resonance. So you've got a whole ass another filter in addition to these two filters. Yeah, that's dope. I mean, come on. Damn.